Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Dave. Welcome to Aroid District. Okay, so I never thought I would purchase this one particular plant. I don't know why I did it. Maybe it was impulse, but I definitely purchased it, and I'm going to show you guys later on in the video. But let me tell you about last weekend. So, a couple months ago, I was looking for a particular anthurium, a very underrated anthurium. I finally found it on Equigenera website. They had it back in stock. So I purchased it and I was scheduled to pick it up from the pop-up event that happened last weekend. So I goes down to the pop-up event. I walk up to the entrance of that botanical garden and it costs $36 to get in to the botanical garden so that I can pick up my order. I mean, I'm cheap, but I'm kind of not, but then I am. So I don't know what I was feeling at the time, but I wanted to go pick up my order. I drove all the way down to Pasadena, so I figured, like, let me just pay this and go in. So I walk into the event. I definitely had an attitude for paying that $36, but to my surprise, it was lit. There were vendors all over the place selling plants. Equigenera had a booth. My friend Dave, he had a booth that he was working with some other company, and I don't know, running into my friend Dave, who is very popular out here. Uh, some of my plants in my collection I have purchased from him. He's very popular in the local plant group, but running into him, it actually kind of changed my mood, you know. And then he decided, he was like, hey, he's going to step away from his booth and he wanted to show me a couple of plants in the tropical dome that they had at that botanical garden. So I'm like, oh, they got a tropical dome? He was like, yeah, let me show you a couple things. So he stepped away from his booth. We ran in there real quick, and I'm going to show you footage of that tropical dome. It's a little tour of this botanical garden. I captured some cool things. And then right after that, we'll come back here and I'll show you all of the plants that I purchased at that event and also some new plants that I purchased within the last couple months or so.
Purchase too.
Yeah, is this like the tropical section?
Yeah.
Oh, sh.
No cussing in here. I'm just kidding. Okay, you can see it's this guy right here. The obliquo's right here. They removed the tag now, but that's the obliqua.
Oh, yo.
Yeah, so it was running all over the floor. Here's a big patriciate that they have. Just growing on the side. Look at this guy, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And then there's a queen that they've been growing forever.
Oh, just mounted like that, huh?
Yeah.
Fire. Where's this
There
spirit?
it is right here. That's the leaf right here.
Oh, they just gonna treat it like, oh,
Check
come
it out
on
over
now.
here. Boom. Boom.
Oh, yeah, that's fire.
Yeah. I gotta get back.
All right, yeah, I'll be right over there. So I really wanted to observe this mature form philodendron spiritus sancti for myself. And you know what? I really do like it. If you can see, the surface of the leaf has like a blue sheen to it with that lime green midrib and just the pendant shape of it. It is a really cool aroid, I would say. They had these philodendron gloriosums crawling about in a natural setting. Pretty cool. So check out the texture on this philodendron rugosum. I used to have one and I could not keep it alive. And they have this one in the cloud forest area, so that makes me think that it needs cooler temperatures with the high humidity. So I was very happy that I went to that event. I really did enjoy myself, and I came up on a few plants. So the anthurium that I was talking about that I got from Ecuagenera, I'll show you that first. It's a very underrated anthurium. A lot of you probably, I'm like, how come people are not talking about this anthurium? I feel like it's really dope, and I can't wait to see it grow out. Let me show you. We have the Anthurium oxybellium. So you may be thinking, oh, there's not much now. Sleep if you want to. This Anthurium right here is pretty dope. When it gets bigger, it's gonna get red like a rooster. If you can see, the veins are red. So you get like the huge, it turns into like the big, long anthurium shape. But what happens is the veins and inside of the sinus, it gets really red, and all of the veins are gonna be red. So this is the first leaf where it's starting to get the red veins in there, and then the stems, the whole back of this plant, all those veins are gonna be red, and it gets like a very bright red stem. So let's see. The other leaves aren't very impressive, and this plant is still trying to acclimate, but low price, very underrated. I definitely wanted to bring this to the table because it's like the genetics on this plant, they have red veins. So if I ever were to cross this with another plant, hopefully it can pick up the traits of having this red sinus with the bright red veins. So that's what struck my interest with this particular plant here. All right, so have you ever wished that your Mandula pothos would fenestrate? So Mandula pothos, it does not fenestrate, but it does have a cool pattern. That's the feature about this plant. But me in particular, I was like, this plant would be so dope with this pattern if it fenestrated. Well, your prayers have been answered because the new plant that I just purchased is the Epipremnum marble. Now, this is a small one, and I do have propagations. This plant fenestrates prolifically. So the cool feature about this plant is it has like it has that snow queen pattern, similar to the Mandula pothos, but it is a Panatum variety where it fenestrates. And this particular marble version fenestrates even when it's immature. So as you can see, this is a small plant and it's already fenestrating. So that's the cool thing about this plant right here. So I propagated this Epipremnum marble, and it literally rooted within 2 days. I seen the roots coming out just by cutting it and putting it in water. But this is a cool selection, and I definitely want to have these on my shop because I feel like it's very hardy and it's very gratifying to have a plant that fenestrates early, even when it's immature, because the Monstera albo is very sought after. There are some alternatives for the people who can't afford a Monstera albo. You have the Epipanatum, just the regular albopanatum. That one is more affordable, and once it gets mature, it will fenestrate, but it does take a while for that one to fenestrate. This one, actually, I'll show you. They fenestrate even when juvenile. So once it climbs up and even gets bigger, you'll already have the fenestration. It's like an instant gratification when you get the marble panatum. So the next plant I'm gonna show you, I did show you all in my last video, and I'm being a little bit disrespectful to this plant because it is an import, but I left it here in my living room to acclimate. It's just sitting over here by the window in low humidity. This living room gets like low humidity around 40%. But nevertheless, I left it here. Maybe I should go ahead and take it upstairs to the room. But I figured that it was too big and it was gonna block a lot of the light from other plants. So maybe that's the reason why I left it here. Let me get it. So this is the Anthurium esmeraldens. I definitely had my eye on this one for a while. And when I seen it at the pop-up event, this big for only $45, I went ahead and I got it. This leaf right here is the healthiest leaf because it's very firm even though this plant is acclimating. This leaf is new and it's still kind of expanding if it has enough energy left for it to expand. And this is like an older leaf that's pretty healthy. It's pretty firm. It's a little bit dirty though. So let me take this one outside so you all can see some B-roll footage of it. So this next plant is the reason why I made this video. You might not be impressed by this plant, but I just cannot believe that I got it. I think it was an impulse buy. I was at that event last weekend and I wasn't in the best mood after I had to pay all that money to get in. But it was all worth it because this next plant was definitely a come up. So I have none other than the philodendron spiritus sancti. I'm gonna have to turn the camera around so you can really see what's going on with this. But I got a philodendron spiritus sancti. So have you all noticed the big deal with this plant right now? It does not look its best. It is a small seedling, but have you noticed that it's two of them? Yes, I bought a small seedling and it just so happened to be two of them in that pot. I think this is a tissue cultured plant, and sometimes if you buy a tissue cultured batch, it will be multiple shoots inside of the little seedling plug, you know? So it's doing fine. It was a little bit beat up, so I actually got it for a fraction of the current market rate. So it was a fraction of the already discounted rate. So I got this for very cheap, and I'm happy because I got two of them for very cheap, you know? So this is the new leaf. Looks pretty healthy. It looks pretty fine. And this new shoot that I separated in the plug looks like it's developing a new leaf right there. So it's doing just fine. So I think that is actually really crazy that I got two of these for less than the price of one. It was a really good price and that made it all worth it. I mean, hey, that just goes to show you that, you know, things happen for a reason. Sometimes you got to be patient. Just be patient and something good will definitely crack off because I had a bad attitude walking in to that Botanical Garden pop-up event or whatever. But to come up on this, and I don't even want to say who I got it from because I don't want to put them on blast. I don't even know if they were supposed to sell it to me for this price. But wow, I'm not giving this one any special care right now. It's not even in my plant room. It's in like my office area. And I don't know. I'm not going through the whole motions of putting this in a bag and doing all kind of crazy stuff because, from what I know, it's from Brazil. It's from Brazil. It definitely in the native region of this plant, it gets cold, and I hear that this plant does not need all that crazy high humidity. So I'm not about to sit up there and do too much. I feel like a lot of my plants do well when I kind of let them chill. You definitely want to be educated on where the plant is native to. If the plant is a hybrid, because if a plant is a hybrid, then it can kind of adjust to certain conditions. If it's a species plant like this one, it comes from the Espiritu Sancti state of Brazil on the east side of Brazil, where it does get cold. It drops down into the 50s for a few months out of the year there. So therefore, this one should do just fine in Los Angeles, and it won't need all that crazy high humidity. But stick along with me for the journey of this plant. We're gonna see, being that I got two, it's gonna be exciting to see the journey of this plant. And I want to have this one hanging from my ceiling in the future. So I'm documenting this now because this is how it looks. But in the future, when it looks like how it's supposed to, I'm gonna have it hanging from my ceiling. The next plant I got is an Anthurium poppylaminum crossed with Bessier. And it's doing some weird things right now. Check this out. This old leaf is giving me poppylaminum because it's kind of straight across the top. And if you look at the veins, it's definitely poppylaminum-ish. But this new one right here is definitely different. Like that midrib is actually red, if you can see that. So I'm excited about this anthurium right here. Bessier crossed with the papillaminum. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting when this gets mature. Nice one. Oh shit, I just dropped it. Fuck. So I did get this big fat ass philodendron leitnamii. It was very unnecessary for me to get this one because I already have one. But I wanted to try again with the fresh one. They didn't send me the best specimen from, where did this come from? Ecuador in Florida. I always tell y'all this. I feel like their plants are a little bit leggy, and I'm not sure if they have a lot of plants just growing underneath the table, and that's the reason why. But it is big, and the reason why I got it because it was on sale. It's a Leitnamii. It was $60 on sale, so I got another one, and now that I have multiples, I can test the limits of this and try to grow it outside. This plant right here is actually a common plant. I think this one is called the Aglonema silverstone. And I had to get this one from a local big box store because it reminded me of the silver sword. So this is the Aglonema silverstone, but it does look like a philodendron silver sword, but actually a little bit better because look at this pattern. Look at that. That's crazy. It definitely has a silver sheen to it with these, I don't even know what color this is. It's almost like honeydew melon colored or like cantaloupe colored or something like that. The stems is crazy and you get this silver sheen and the veins are lime green. Now, I mean, come on now, that's crazy right there. Look at that. So it's somewhat of a common plant, but I don't see it very often. I just really liked it, so I had to get it because it definitely. Let me get the silver sword and put it next to it. Let's see which one looks better. Okay, so this is the philodendron silver sword. This is the new Aglonema silver stone. Yeah, the Aglonema definitely looks better than the silver sword. It's just that coloration with the stem is just setting it off. Like this is a bomb plant right here. I like that. Yeah, so I'm happy I got this one. This is a very beautiful plant right here, and it's easy. So the last plant I'm gonna show you all, it's actually just some sticks. Oh, you don't believe me? No, it's really just some sticks. But listen, this right here is a variegated hibiscus. So it's the variegated sea hibiscus. I never thought I would even have this plant either, because I knew that it's not like it's crazy expensive. It's just that they don't offer it. You know, they don't offer it at shops too often. And when it comes to online, I just figured I was gonna wait for it. But they have an Etsy seller that sells just cuttings and sticks for very cheap, and she gives you a lot of them. So I had to go ahead and do that. And sure enough, I got this last weekend. It arrived last weekend. We got a little hibiscus leaf, and I put the sticks in water, and look, they're rooting up pretty fast. And just about all of them are showing signs of rooting. They all have those white specks on it after I put it in this water, and it's starting to root. And new leaves are starting to. Well, a couple of these leaves were already on there, but there's some new buds. Like that one's new. Something in the middle of this one, it's like a new bud right there. So yeah, these is on their way to being some nice variegated hibiscus. And I really like this plant because you never know what you get with the variegation. As you can see, you get green, cream color, you get red. You know, it's a very good variegation on the variegated hibiscus. So that is my last plant right there, and I'm so excited about it. And I'm glad that I made the purchase. Like to get one, two, three, four, five, six cuttings of just these sticks for $20, six of them, and they sure enough did root quickly. That's a come up. Praise God. All right, listen, that's all I got for y'all. I'll be coming at you with another video soon. I got something in the works. I feel like it's gonna be exciting. So you all stick around. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Blessings to everybody. See you on the next one.